Welcome back to Amazing Sharks, everybody. And today's video is on the amazing Greenland shark. And this is what we're going to be learning about today. This is one of the world's oldest sharks. This is also known as the Rubik shark or the gray shark. They're a large shark in the family Somniosidae. They're called sleeper sharks. And they're related to the Pacific and southern sleeper sharks inhabiting the North Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. They are notable for their exceptional longevity, although they are poorly studied due to depth and remoteness of their natural habitat. Greenland sharks have the longest lifespan of any known vertebrate, estimated to be between 250 and 500 years. They are among the largest extant shark species, reaching a maximum confirmed length of 21 feet and weighing more than 2,200 pounds. They reach sexual maturity at about 150 years of age, and their pups are born alive after an estimated gestation I cannot pronounce today, period of 8 to 18 years. The shark is a generalist feeder consuming a variety of available foods, including carrion. Greenland shark meat is toxic to mammals due to its high levels of, I'm going to try to pronounce this, trimethylene in oxide. Hey, I got it. I knew that word. Although a treated form of it is eaten in Iceland as a delicacy known as Keister Hakari. Because they live in deep in remote parts of the northern oceans, Greenland sharks are not considered a threat to humans. A possible attack occurred in August 1936 on 2 British fishermen, but the species was never identified. The largest confirmed specimen measured 21 feet long and weighed about 2,255 pounds. The All-Tackle International Game Fish Association recorded this species at 1,709 pounds. It rivals the Pacific sleeper shark, possibly up to 23 feet long for the largest species in the family sleeper sharks. Genetic data indicate that Greenland sharks diverged from ancestral sleeper sharks in the Canadian Arctic approximately 1 to 2.34 million years ago during the Pleistocene epoch. They likely influenced by glacial fluctuations that periodically isolated marine populations. These ecological challenges may have driven psychological and metabolic adaptations for cold, deep waters. The Greenland shark is a thick-set species with a short, rounded snout, small eyes, and small dorsal and pectoral fins. The gill openings are very small for their species' great size. Females are typically larger than males, with males reaching maturity at a smaller size than females. Coloration can range from creamy gray to blackish brown, and the body is typically uniform in color, though whitish spots or faint dark streaks are occasionally seen on the back. The shark is often infested by the copiopod, which is a crustacean that attaches itself to the shark's eyes. They may display bioluminescence, thus attracting prey for the shark in a mutualistic relationship, but this hypothesis has not been verified. The parasites can cause multiple forms of damage to the shark's eyes, such as ulceration, mineralization, and edema of the cornea, leading to almost complete blindness. This does not seem to reduce the life expectancy or predatory ability of Greenland sharks due to their strong reliance on smell and hearing. The genome of the Greenland shark was published in 2024. It is 6.45 billion base pairs in length. When feeding on large carcasses, the shark employs a rolling motion of its jaw. The 48 to 52 teeth of the upper jaw are very thin and pointed, lacking serrations. These upper jaw teeth act as an anchor, while the lower jaw proceeds to cut massive chunks out of the prey. The 48 to 52 lower teeth interlock, are broad and square in shape, and contain short, smooth cusps that point outward. Teeth in the two halves of the lower jaw are strongly pitched in opposite directions. The Greenland shark prefers cold water temperatures, 30 to 45.3 degrees Fahrenheit, and deep water, 330 to 3,940 feet. As an ectotherm living in just above freezing environment, this species is sluggish and slow-moving with the lowest swim speed and tail beat frequency for its size across all fish species, which most likely correlates with its very slow metabolism and extreme longevity. It swims at an average of 1 foot 1 inch per second, with its fastest cruising speed only reaching 2 foot 5 inches per second. Because this speed is a fraction of the speed seals, a well established prey item, can reach. Biologists are uncertain how the sharks are able to prey on seals, though they are thought to ambush them while they sleep. As both scavengers and active predators, Greenland sharks have established themselves as the apex predators in the Arctic ecosystems. They primarily eat fish, herring, salmon, smelt, cod, wolffish, haddock, halibut, redfish, sculpins, lumpfish, and skates, and seals. Some Greenland sharks have also been found to eat minke whales. Small Greenland sharks eat predominantly squid as well as seabirds, crabs, and amphipods, sea snails, brittle stars, sea urchins, and jellyfish. Large Greenland sharks eat prey such as dermis, demersal fishes as well as seals and small cetaceans such as oceanic dolphins and porpoises. The largest of these sharks were found having eaten redfish as well as other higher trophic level prey. Because of their slow speeds and low twitch speed muscle fiber, Greenland sharks are proposed to hunt marine mammals such as seals and similar cetaceans that are asleep, injured, or sick, as well as scavenging. Regarding most benthic prey, they use their cryptic coloration, approaching prey undetected before closing the remaining distance. Once they get close to their prey, Greenland sharks expand their buccal cavity to create suction, drawing in prey. The suction mechanism, if I can pronounce things today, is the likely explanation for why the gut contents of the Greenland sharks are often whole prey specimens. Greenland sharks have been found what remains of moose, horse, and reindeer, in one case an entire reindeer carcass, in their stomachs. Polar bear remains have also been recovered, though these are thought to be bears that died from other causes. The Greenland shark is known to be a scavenger and is attracted by the smell of rotting meat in the water. The sharks have frequently been observed lurking around fishing boats and herds of seals. Although such large shark could easily consume a human swimmer, the frigid waters it typically inhabits make the likelihood of attacks on people very low. To date, only one report exists of human predation by a Greenland shark. Around 1859, in a pond inlet, Canada, a Greenland shark was caught reportedly containing a human leg in its stomach. The story, however, was never scientifically investigated and remains unverified. Greenland sharks migrate annually based on the depth and temperature rather than distance, although some do travel. During the winter, these sharks congregate in the shallows for warmth, but migrate separately in the summer to the deeps or even farther south. The species has been observed at a depth of 7,200 feet by a submersible investigating the wreck of the SS Central America that lies about 180 miles east of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. Daily vertical migration between shallow and deep waters has also been recorded. Genetic evidence suggests that Greenland sharks historically inhabit deep sea environments ranging across Pano-oceanic regions at depths greater than 1,000 meters. During the Quaternary period, global cooling influenced thickening sea ice and submerged Arctic landscapes, which likely severed connectivity between the local shark populations. Fluctuating glacial cycles, though periodically open opportunities for population mixing, impacting migration patterns and genetic diversity. Today, Greenland sharks are found not only in the Arctic and subarctic waters, but also in regions further south, such as the mid-Atlantic ridge and the Gulf of Mexico. These findings indicate a wider ecological range than previously thought. In August 2013, researchers from Florida State University caught a Greenland shark in the Gulf of Mexico at a depth of 5,738 feet, where the water temperature was 39.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Four previous records of Greenland shark were reported from Cuba and the northern Gulf of Mexico. A more typical depth range is 0 to 4,900 feet, with the species often occurring in relatively shallow waters in the far north and deeper in the southern part of its range. In April 2022, a large sleeper shark was caught and subsequently released on Glover's Reef off the coast of Belize. The shark was identified as either being a Greenland shark or hybrid Greenland with Pacific sleeper shark. The observation is notable for being the first possible record of a Greenland shark from the Western Caribbean and being caught on a nearshore coral reef. The only other record of this species from the Caribbean was made from a deepwater habitat off the Caribbean coast of Colombia. The discovery indicates the Greenland shark may have a wider distribution in the tropics, primarily at greater depths than previously believed. Greenland sharks are born alive after an after an estimated gestation period of 8 to 18 years. This extremely long gestation rate is crucial to understanding effective conservation strategies around the Greenland shark. Given the ongoing fishing pressures on Greenland sharks, their prolonged long gestation period and slow reproductive rate may severely limit their ability to recover from ocean overfishing. Estimates of litter size have varied in studies. Some suggest that the species produces up to 10 pups per litter, each initially measuring 15 to 17 inches in length. Based on these estimates, Greenland sharks may have between 200 and 700 pups during their lifetimes. And excuse that, my dog started barking. Within a Greenland shark's uterus, bees serve a key function in supplying oxygen to the embryos. Oxygen supply is proposed to be a major limiting factor in the size of litters. Other studies, however, which take into account ovarian data and analysis of other squaliform shark species, have estimated that Greenland sharks produce from 200 to 324 pups per litter, each pup measuring 14 to 18 inches in length. The same study also confirms that Greenland shark embryos develop inside the uterus without a placenta. The shark has historically been hunted for its liver oil until the development of synthetic oils and cessation of export of liver oil and skin from Greenland in the 1960s. In the 1970s, the species was seen as a problem for other fisheries in western Norway, and the government subsidized a fishery to reduce the stock of the species. Today, the Greenland shark is primarily caught as bycatch in industrial fisheries, while around 25 are caught per year by artisanal fisheries targeting the species in Iceland. 3,500 are caught annually as bycatch in the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans. The shark is likely affected by quantity dynamics and distribution of Arctic sea ice. The rate of projected loss of sea ice will continue to negatively influence the abundance, distribution, and availability of prey, while at the same time providing greater access for fishing fleets. A greater potential exists for new fisheries to develop more productive and abundant southerly species invade the warming Arctic waters. Greenland sharks are recognized to be as the longest living vertebrates on Earth. They have a slow growth rate, late maturity period, and low fecundity, making the management and conservation of the species very important. Understanding their exceptionally long gestation period, along with other reproductive and developmental characteristics, is crucial for developing effective conservation strategies for the Greenland shark. Given the ongoing fishing pressures on Greenland sharks, their low productivity and extreme longevity may severely limit their ability to recover from overfishing and bycatch. Therefore, Greenland sharks' longevity and conservative life history traits, in tandem with their vulnerability to accidental catching and commercial fishing, promotes a growing concern for the sustainability of this species. The flesh of the Greenland shark is toxic because of the presence of high concentrations of urea and trimethylene oxide. If the meat is eaten without pretreatment, the ingested TMAO is metabolized into trimethylene, which may be a uremic toxin. Occasionally, sled dogs that eat the flesh are unable to stand because of this effect. Similar toxic effects occur with the related Pacific sleeper shark, but not in most other shark species. Greenland shark meat is produced and eaten in Iceland, where today it is known as a delicacy called hakari. To make shark safe for human consumption, it is first fermented and then dried in a process that can take several months. The shark was traditionally fermented by burying the meat in gravel pits near the ocean for at least several weeks. Now shark cuts are typically fermented in containers that are perforated to allow liquid to drain. The fermentation process converts urea into ammonia and TMAO into TMA, which then drains as a liquid from the meat. The meat is then excavated and hung in strips to dry for several more months. The Greenland shark's poisonous flesh has a high urea content, which gave rise to the Inuit legend of Skoggunsuak, the first Greenland shark. The legend says that an old woman washed her hair in urine, a common practice to kill head lice, and dried it with a cloth. The cloth blew into the ocean to become Skoggunsuak. Another legend tells of Sedna, whose father cut off her fingers while drowning her, with each finger turning into a sea creature, including Skoggunsuak. The Greenland shark plays a role in cosmetologies of the Inuit from Canadian, Eastern Arctic, and Greenland. Igloolik Inuit believe that the shark lives within the urine pot of Sedna, goddess of the sea, and consequently its flesh has a urine-like smell and acts as a helping spirit to shamans. And that, you guys, is the Greenland shark. And the next shark I'm going to be doing is a really rare shark, which I think you guys are really, really going to love. And before I announce that, I just want to say, like, comment, and subscribe. If there's any topic you want to hear about, let me know, and I will do it for you. I've already done one for somebody else. So, feel free to make a comment on what you'd like to hear about. We're also going to be doing some videos shortly on some false sharks. I got a friend to help me come up with ideas of other sharks to do. But our next shark, you guys, is one of my favorites because it's so rare and it's so awesome looking. The eel-like looking frilled shark. That's right, the frilled shark, one of the rarest shark species in the world. So I look forward to seeing you again soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great rest of your day.